This is Bernardine once again in Atlanta. But I will say this to get us started. I have been with Engage Global for about 3 years, 3.5 years. I had no intentions on becoming a part of this company. However, after 6 years, Jonathan Jones really asked me to, had been asking me to use these products about 6 years. But the reason why I didn't use them is because people present things all the time to me. I'm a 30-year paramedic. I teach CPR and BLS, basic life support, and I'm a 25, like I say, I'm a 25 year firefighter. So I have been with natural products since 1983, and I've never come across any product that you actually knew who put these products together and what their validation was as far as their qualification. So one day, my wife and I was just talking in general, and I got hurt with the fire department, retired about 5 years ago. I made a decision. I made a decision to go ahead and try these products. Jonathan never gave up in presenting. He said, "Why don't you try these Engage Global products?" My wife and I tried them, and the results were within a relatively short period of time. My my results were so outstanding that I decided to try it with my friends and relatives. And everyone that stayed on the routine called me back and they said, "Bernard, where did you find these products?" And that was the first time for a moment I went back and I found Kedar Prasad name. And here's how I knew something was different. When I brought up his name on the internet, I have never seen so much information about a man. This I found out later he was over 90 years old. I said, I've never found out, I've never seen a product or a company that could be as validated as Engage Global Products. And then I found out it came from the military, and the military does not accept junk. So the results were, of course, I went and looked up the history, found out how they got started in 2012, and the rest is history. A number of my friends, I decided to become an affiliate with the company because I felt that these products were worth sharing. So for the past almost 3 years, I have been sharing Engage Global products all over the planet with people that I felt that wanted a better quality of life. And of course, some people came along right away, some people came on later. So that is my story to start out. We want to hear your story because some people have come on here and told some stories that have been life changing for people that heard them. And they got on a routine, and in less than 90 days, they have literally got their life back. So I want to take and bring my partner in here today. Actually, this is going to be our moderator, Jeff Ashby. Ashby is our number one leader with the company, and Jeff has been. He'll tell you his story, I guess. And Jeff, I am so much looking forward to hearing from you. You have been, for me, since I've come into the business, you have been a phenomenal example. And you've taught me about persistence and how results can happen if you just don't give up. So I want to thank you that you, as well as Jonathan, as well as all the legacy leaders, have helped me become something in my retirement. I never thought that I would come across something like this. I am having a ball be an affiliate with this company.
Well, fantastic. My goodness, Bernard, amazing story. Your background, being a firefighter, teaching paramedics, being in that healthcare industry, helping people when they're truly at their worst, and then knowing the difference that the right supplements can do in people's lives. The team that you're building is incredible. So, yes, we're very fortunate, and I will certainly share our story here tonight because it is significant. It kind of goes right in line with what we're all hoping to do, and that is connect with others and truly make a difference in their lives. So, thank you, Bernard.
All right,
On
we pass it on to you, Jeff. And I have to say, my team is so excited to hear from you tonight. We have been looking forward to tonight. I'm excited. I just want to hear everybody's story. Thank you, Jeff, for allowing me this.
already. Okay, see ya.
Bye bye.
Hang there in the background. I appreciate it. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yep, I got it. I got it. It's just me now. But as Bernard so eloquently stated, we're here to hear stories. But before we get going too far down that road, we need to make sure that we are protected and that we are protecting Dr. Kedar Prasad. We need to do that by pulling up the disclaimer here onto the screen. And yes, many of you will recognize the front end, the cockpit of our van. That's where I'm sitting right now. It's a little blown out behind me with just the lighting, but you can see me okay. We're just off of the I-70 freeway, uh, just outside of St. Louis, Missouri, and beautiful, beautiful part of the country. Just amazing things are happening as we connect with others. But let me just pull up onto the screen here the disclaimer that I need to read in order for us to be protected, because you're going to hear some incredible stories here this afternoon. These statements and comments have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This information is solely for educational purposes only and includes recent advances in research on micronutrients. Engage the Micronutrient Company does not claim that our products diagnose, treat, cure, heal, or prevent any disease or injury. However, Engage's products are formulated to address nutritional deficiencies and supply the body with the required nutrients. It's important to note that nothing here is meant to be a substitute for professional medical treatment or a consultation with your primary healthcare provider. So I'm just stating that needs to be out there in front. And Jonathan Jones, who typically will host these Sunday late afternoon, early evening calls, is so professional as he presents the information that he does. The interviews that he has had with Dr. Prasad are just amazing. And I feel like that today, as I go into my story, I want to share a little bit of some things that have just come forward for you all to take a look at. And as we start the stories here today, let me start with mine. So we go back when I was 18 years old and could legally get into a delivery truck. Our family owned, well, my dad and his business partners owned Industrial Container and Supply in Salt Lake City, Utah. And at that point in Utah's economy, 1/3 of the economy was all based on the supplement industry and multi-level marketing. It's incredible to see how that has evolved today. In fact, many of the exits as you're traveling down I-15, you're going to have several of these companies that I'm going to reference that have entire interchanges with the freeway, all based upon their businesses being there. So when I was 18 years old, I was delivering empty vitamin bottles into companies like Nature's Sunshine Products, Nature's All, Nature's Way, Nature's Farm, and Nature's Botanicals, Solaray, Nu Skin, USANA, Zango, Zuri, Zija, Melaleuca. You go into Young Living and doTERRA and all of these supplement companies that come out of Utah were part of, well, what my dad was doing. In fact, he had just retired, sold his part of the business to his business partners, was still on the North American Container Distributors Board for all of North America. 7 people sat on this board, and he was one of those 7. Just even though he was retired, he was still plugged into this industry. And amazing just timing. One of Helen's girlfriends approached her and says, "I found it. I found it." She had been suffering from constipation issues for 26 years and called Helen, not to say that Helen had constipation, but Helen and this lady had worked on her constipation. And she says, "I found it. I found it. Can we do a meeting so you can find out more about this in your home in Southern Utah?" And so as a couple, we agreed. The first time that we saw Micro Daily was in our home on a Friday evening. And that Friday, I found out that they had human clinical trials. I found out their involvement with the US military. I found out that this was unlike any other supplement that I'd ever been exposed to. But then, from a timing standpoint, I want to share with you that was Friday night. We were excited about it. By Wednesday, my mom called and dad had suffered a stroke at 75 years old on his way out to get the mail. Something happened. And she called me in tears and said they've reached out to the doctor. The neurologist has made an appointment for my dad on the next day. So basically 24 hours from when I was on the phone with mom. This happened about 2:30 in the afternoon. I said, Mom, Helen and I were just exposed to a product that is truly more than just a product. It's a formulation that was created for the US military, and it involved human clinical trials with soldiers who had suffered combat-related concussions. I said, let me get somebody on the phone and see if this could help Dad. And it was crazy because within an hour, my mom being on the phone, my youngest sister being on the phone, one of the individuals that was connected to us through network marketing says, I'll meet your mom and your sister off of the freeway to give this supplement to your dad. Now, what she recommended is that we do 3 times the dose, 3 times a day. And it's like, whoa, that's way more than what the soldiers were doing because I had known enough. But I'm telling you, in 3 times the dose that Wednesday evening, 3 times the dose Thursday morning, and 3 times the dose right before Dad's appointment with the neurologist, his body was able to make some changes and the symptoms of his stroke 24 hours earlier that involved paralysis on the entire left side of his body, his inability to use his hand, his arm, be able to walk correctly, be able to see out of the left side of his vision. All of those things were mitigated. It was all taken care of by just giving this incredible formulation to my dad 3 times the dose, 3 times a day. And in just 3 doses of 3 times the dose, it was amazing. So we were then excited enough that we're going, I wonder how that would help because my dad's 80 in his 80s, and we had a grandson that was 8. Our grandson, Isaiah, was diagnosed ADD, ADHD, and ODD, oppositional defiant disorder. He'd been kicked out of 4 schools by the time he was 8 years old. In fact, he got the nickname of the Sierra Madre Strangler because they living in Sierra Madre, California, and he went to Sierra Madre Elementary School, and right there on the playground, he choked out more than one of his classmates. They ended up calling ambulances, and yeah, that was our grandson. Out of control behavior issues. But again, 3 days, 3 days of the normal dose. This is the dose that the military took. Isaiah came bouncing down the stairs and says, Mom, 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 whose birthday is it today? I'm excited to go to school. Something is great is going to happen today. And Bernard, that right there said it. I mean, our daughter shared that experience with us, and all of the challenges that our grandson was experiencing was a lack of nutrition. And so here we have 80-year-old father, 8-year-old grandson, and all the potential between those two individuals in our lives. And so we got on the road, we started sharing this, and it's absolutely amazing. So hopefully, we've given everybody time to reach out to those contacts that you would like to participate today. Both Bernard Dean and myself, Jeff Ashby, that are hosting this call for you, have shared our stories. Now, I want to just shift gears here for a little bit because it wasn't just, here we have Dr. Kedar Prasad, the world's foremost expert on micronutrition and supplementation. that is educating us, that every week, multiple times a week, he's instructing us how to best take care of each other by adding micronutrition to our diet. These go way beyond just multiple vitamins. I get back with the individual who invited you on today and request a copy of this. This is a science booklet that is available to everyone. This is the science behind the world's most scientifically validated supplements, an absolute wealth of information, 48 pages worth of documentation here that you can avail yourself of. Just ask for a digital copy of it. Included in this is not only micronutrients, is a deficiency, micronutrient deficiency is a crisis in human health, but we are what we eat. We go on. The very next page talks about micronutrients are a simple and healthy answer to today's health challenges. One of those challenges I want to bring forward was pioneered by Dr. Prasad because of this right here. He was known, and I'm going to have just draw your attention to this in yellow, the world's first radiation biology PhD from the University of Iowa, Iowa City in 1963. Dr. Prasad then went on and he discovered the anti-cancer potency vitamin E succinate, discovered that butyric acid, the small fatty acid formed by fermentation of fibers in the gut, is an anti-cancer agent. The reason that I'm pulling forward that information is because of who Dr. Prasad is. And this week, just Friday, Dr. Prasad sent over to me an article that he has authored this year, 2025. And so in the disclaimer that I shared with everybody, I said recent advances in research on micronutrients. When we talk about recent advances, there couldn't be anything more recent than just in the last couple of months. And so I'm going to pull up that article, but before I pull it up, I want to reference this. It just seems like we kind of go in cycles. And this last week, I have been on the phone with so many individuals that are facing scans, that are facing different type of exploratory events, whether it's CAT scans, whether it's PT scans, whether it's X-rays, whether it's just everybody is concerned about that because they go to the doctors and the doctors are trying to find out what's wrong. And a lot of times the tools that they have access to are tools that involve radiation. And so as we start into stories here today, the reason I'm sharing this story as it has been placed upon my heart today is because of the number of individuals that are facing these scans. And I'm going to just pull this up on the screen to demonstrate to you what kind of exposure that we are getting when we have these scans. So I'm going to pull this up onto the screen. It says radiation effects. These are radiation effects on the human body. On the right-hand side, it's broken into different organ groups. We have the eyes, the thyroid, the lungs, the stomach, the reproductive organs, the skin, the bone marrow. These are all places where radiation and radiation's effects can harm us as humans. Now, what I want to do is draw your attention to the left side of it when we're talking about measurements in millisieverts. This is exposure, and exposure is, what does it say right underneath that? Exposure is cumulative, meaning unless you're doing something about it, it's staying in the body. So we're going to go right down at the bottom of the page on the left-hand side, and we look at single chest X-ray. Yes, it can be measured, and it is cumulative. The average yearly background for radiation dose in the UK. Then we've got a single mammogram, 3 millisieverts. Look at that, 3. I mean, it's not just a single chest X-ray is 0.1. A single mammogram is 3 millisieverts. We look for the yearly dose for airline crews. Those are constantly going back and forth through airline check-in and the scans that they're getting. But look at this, 10 millisieverts, the one right above that, average dose for a full body CAT scan. Yes, there is that much radiation, 10 millisieverts from a CAT scan. How many of you have had multiple CAT scans? Well, it's a cumulative effect, and I want to point out something that is really scary. The number right above that, it says yearly limit for nuclear workers. So if you're working in a nuclear plant, imagine kind of how scary that would be. You've got your own little name badge with a dosimeter on the back of it, really, just gauging how much exposure you have had. Imagine you wear that badge into the CAT scan machine. First of all, you wouldn't do that, but if you had to wear that into the CAT scan, the CT CAT scan machine twice, you could not go back to work because you would have over your yearly limit for nuclear workers. That is scary. I pull that forward today, Bernard, to just say, here is the rest of the story. And I want to just point out that Friday, Dr. Prasad sent me over a reprint. In fact, Beth just got through posting this article in a group chat describing today's stories. And I thought, well, it just moved me to say, how many of you have either had a scan or are facing a scan, or you know somebody that will be? And we have our very own Dr. Kedar Prasad, with his background and understanding of the effects of radiation on the body. He's come forward with this. Talk about timing and why it is so important. And this is the rest of the story. Right here, you can look up in the upper left-hand corner. It says 2025 World Journal of Pharmaceutical and Life Sciences. And what is the title of it? Proposed Protection Against Diagnostic and Electromagnetic Field Radiation Doses in Humans. You guys, we're all human on this call. And here we have recent research in micronutrients. Now, something else I'm going to point out here, we have Russell J. Court and Jonette Biebensheimer. They are also listed in this article because of what they have contributed. And I just want to state, it's such an incredible time in the history of Engage and those people that are around. I want to just point this out. This is part of the abstract. It says the rapid growth of advanced X-rays based on radiological imaging for human disease and chiropractic and dental X-rays diagnostic technologies has helped in correctly diagnosing the disease, including skeletal and oral dysfunction. The effective dose to patients depends upon the type of diagnostic radiation procedure and technique. Increased risk of cancer occurs among those who receive higher and more frequent doses of diagnostic radiation. It's important to recognize the growth of wireless communications technology, which utilizes non-ionizing electromagnetic field, EMF radiation, at various frequencies, thus adds additional stressors to human health and wellness. The above-mentioned frequencies have produced hypersensitivity, a new neuroplastic and non-neoplastic diseases, neurological and non-neurological diseases. Diagnostic radiation increases free radicals by water hydrolysis, whereas EMF radiation enhances production of free radicals by increasing the activity. You guys, this just goes on and on. And I'm so grateful that we have access to Dr. Prasad. Again, get back with the individual who invited you onto this call and get a copy of this. This is something that is amazing. It's available to us right now. And I just want to, Bernard, I know we've kind of gone down this road already. We've been talking about stories, but I just feel like somebody or somebody's, maybe there's multiple individuals that are facing diagnostic testing or that are carrying around their cell phones right now, and they just don't know the damage that they are doing to their bodies. And we through Dr. Prasad and his research have the answers. And so it's with that that I I say let's hear some of those stories today. Let's hear from individuals that have had their lives changed because of what Dr. Prasad's knowledge has done for them as they correct the micronutrient deficiencies that existed. So I'm going to go ahead and have any of you at this point go ahead and raise your hand. You do that by going down along the bottom of your Zoom screen. You can go into reaction, not the clapping of hands, but go to raise hand. And we'd love to hear from you. Open up your microphones, open up your cameras, share with us what has changed in your lives as you have begun to incorporate the micronutrients and Dr. Prasad's incredible formulations in your lives. So, Bernard, you've got your camera back open. Did you want to state something before others
No,
jump in?
just basically encouraging everyone, please. You've been telling me stories all week. Please, I see so many people on here. Please don't be shy about sharing your story. We're the micro daily family. We're the engaged global family. So you're basically helping all of us to appreciate how our products work. And as you relate it, also tell us a little bit about what you're taking. That will help us out a little bit in case anyone on here is going through the same story. You know, Jeff, when we get started with this, there's always somebody come on and break the ice. And I say, Maggie, finally, oh, now see, Maggie has started everything. All right. And three hands. Okay, we're ready to go, Jeff.
All righty, let's take it away. Maggie, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, I'll
Yeah.
pull you up on the spotlight. Here we go. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm Maggie. Hi, everyone. I don't have such a earth-shaking experience like Jeff with his grandfather and his grandson, but I've been taking it about. I came on with the company in June, last June, and it has given me a tremendous amount of energy. Um, and I did have a lot of problems with my left knee, and I'm 75 and I can do lunges now, so that's given me that ability.
Yeah.
One thing I'm really tickled about though is I have a very dear friend whose husband was hospitalized. He's had three, I think he had three strokes, but he fell. And when he fell, he had to be hospitalized. She's his caretaker, but he had to be hospitalized. And so, with the nurses not keeping him turned, he developed ulcer on his near to where he would go to the bathroom. So the ulcer was like very deep, very, very deep. And I have pictures. I don't know how I could show it to you. I could put it up on the screen. I don't know if it'll show or if I should Jeff, if I should text you maybe or Bernard text you the pictures and what it was and what it is now. I have one of close to the anus and
Maggie, try and just holding your phone up in front of the camera.
okay,
Let's see if we can do it that way.
okay,
That might be the easiest. And
okay.
we have to
Anybody,
warn everybody. Yeah.
anybody, yeah. If you're squeamish, it's okay. Here it is. That was. You see how deep it is. It.
Oh goodness, I can't unsee that. No.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
and and the thing is, it was I was a little discouraged because it was taking so long. Um, so here it is now, but she wasn't giving it to only, the not a strong enough dose. So that's it now. You can see it's gotten much smaller.
Wow.
See
Wow.
that?
Oh
And
my
then
goodness.
his here's his heel. here's his heel at its worst.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yep.
Okay, yeah, but this is okay. Now look at his heel. So
Wow.
it's
Wow.
really,
Wow.
yeah, it's really covered
Yeah.
it up. No, no, here it is currently. Here it is. That was the worst, and here.
Goodness. Yeah. I mean, it was worth seeing that horrible picture before seeing how well just the micronutrient approach, the correction of that. Now, was he doing anything topically?
Uh,
Was that just inside?
Yeah, no, no, this is what she has sent to me. This was his ankle. That was at its worst. That was
Uh,
the ankle. And then here is, look at this. This is at present.
oh my goodness. So
So
tell us, Maggie, was he taking the core four? Just the
he has
microdaily EMF?
the powder. The EMF, he was just taking the EMF. But I told her that he needed to be taking more. He wasn't taking enough. Um,
Yeah.
he wasn't taking
Wow.
enough, and I think that's why it took so long. So
Yeah.
once she realized that he needed to take more, then we upped the dosage, and it's just like it's come a long way. And so for that,
Wow.
that's not as like radiation. You can't really see what it's doing, but this one was very physical. So
That that was very graphic. Yeah. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, but I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to show everyone what it does,
Yeah.
what it does and what it can do.
That's amazing. Thank you, Maggie, for coming on and just starting out
Welcome.
today. I've seen other hands pop up and they want to share, but yes, thank you for coming
Welcome.
forward. All righty. Wow. Oh my goodness, you guys. So that is the power of it. And we weren't even talking about going topically, which is another thing that you can do. If you've got the capsules, you can open the capsules 3 capsules to 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, and you can make a paste, put that on the piece of gauze that you are covering the sore with, and it'd be amazed at how much support that you can give the body, not just from consuming the micronutrients internally, but also going externally and allowing the body to just pull that nutrition right in. Very, very phenomenal as to what it could do. And I've got pictures to prove that. But thank you, Maggie, for coming forward. Cynthia, Purple Lady, you're up here next. You're all ready to go. Thank you for opening your camera. And there you go. There you go. Tell us your story.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I am Cynthia, the Purple Lady. I joined Engage rather, in July 15, 3 years ago. And initially, when I joined, I didn't have any major health problems, as the lady said before. I just wanted to build up my immune system. And I started off with the EMF, and gradually I started adding things, the probiotics, the omega-3. I've used everything except maybe the latest 3 products that we have. I wanted to build up my immune system. I noticed that I was starting to lose some weight. I didn't really have a weight problem, but I was noticing I was getting a little fitter. Then also, when Dr. Prasad created the digestive enzyme, I was having trouble with constipation really bad. So I said I was going to try. I bought it in December. I think it's been about a year ago now. And it has truly made a difference with me. I don't have constipation problems anymore, and I'm not even taking the digestive enzymes right now because my body has been adjusted to it. I also have taken the EMF and took the capsule loose and fried it in an egg before, and you don't even taste it. So I've done it that way. I've also used the collagen in my coffee in the morning. In fact, I just got the new packs with the individual packs. I'm really glad to have the individual packs. It makes it so much easier to use the collagen. So I really thank God for Dr. Prasad. I thank God for this company, and I will continue to share, even though I don't have as many people to believe and trust our products. if they would just at least try it, they will see a difference in their lives and how healthy it would be. I also had I had to have a rotator cuff surgery on my shoulder. And because I was on the micro daily supplements, I really do believe that I didn't take as long to heal. And I didn't have any problems. So anytime I'm getting ready to even have any type of x-rays or anything like that, I make sure that I take my micro daily before and after. So I thank God for the time that you allowed me to share, and have a blessed day, everybody.
Thank you so much, Purple Lady. That's just amazing. We appreciate you being part of the family as well, and amazing experiences. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. You guys, what she just stated there, how fast she's healing, is just, again, it's a testament to Dr. Prasad knowing exactly what to put into there. Because of the military's initial involvement, there were certain specifications there that it needed to be shelf stable. And he's been able to maintain that through the product line. To answer Virginia's question just quickly, this isn't a questions and answers call, but the date on the bottom of the bottle or the bottom of the package is a manufacturing date, because the micronutrients that Dr. Prasad has combined are in a shelf-stable state, and you're not getting the degradation that usually happens when it's just a multiple vitamin or just herbs that are combined in a formulation. Dr. Prasad's are very, very special. And so look at that. The date that you see on the bottom is an MFG date, not an EXP. So just look at that. The only formulation that Dr. Prasad has even suggested that there may be a limit on is the Omega Daily, and it's because of the oils that are involved. But he's even really has a special formula that has included vitamin E in there as an antioxidant for the other omegas. So vitamin E can be used by our body, but it's in the formulation to protect the other omegas from going rancid. And he says he expects every bit of a 5-year shelf life, even for the Omega Daily. So just a quick answer to that question. And now we're going on to Melvin Morris. Melvin has his hand up, and then, oh my goodness, Tammy's up after that. So, all right, Melvin, if you want to go ahead, I'm going to pull you up here onto the spotlight. There you go. Share with us your story. Go ahead.
My story is I've been on Micro Daily for 1 month and 1 week. I went to the doctor Wednesday for a checkup. The doctor gave me a health report that I have never heard a doctor say. When I was there first time, my blood pressure was high. It wasn't very good, but when I went in Wednesday, she gave me a health report that I am in excellent health, and I have never heard that from a doctor. And my daughter and son-in-law, they are taking a collagen now, and that is what I wanted to say.
Wow, Melvin, thank you. My goodness, that's one of those things. To get a doctor's report like that, I want to give you the thumbs up and just say, you know what? There you go. All kinds of excitement. Somebody who's on the formulations a month. Go ahead.
And, the doctor, she pulled up Micro Daily. I got to go back to see her because when I first, before I got on Micro Daily, I called Bernard that Sunday night after the meeting and told him how I used to walk. I walked left over. I did something 2 weeks ago that I didn't even realize that I had did it until I got in the car. My son-in-law said, "Dad, you didn't have to run." I looked up and I said, "Oh my goodness, I just ran to the car." And I hadn't did that in years. So everyone, Micro Daily really works.
Take it from Melvin. He just brought the receipts, you guys. Yeah, a month, and he's running to the car and getting uh, the best doctor's uh, what do you call it? Yeah. Anyway, you know
Best
what I'm
doctor
trying to say.
report we've ever seen.
Doctor's report. Doctor. I was going to say report card, but that just didn't really work. So, Tammy Shelby, you are next, and then we're going to go with Glenn Clark. So, Tammy, I'm just there. You go. Stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. This is not my story. This is my sister Pam's. She's doesn't have a voice today, but she knows how to take care of that. But a year ago, a little over a year ago, starting somewhere like April of 2024, she was really sick. We didn't know what was wrong, and each month it just kept getting worse and worse. And then a specialist discovered she had a parasite in her kidneys, and she was in stage 5 kidney failure. So that specialist was able to work up a formulary to kill that parasite, get it out of her. But he told us, you need to find the best nutrition possible. And I kept hearing my cousin talk about micronutrients. So I called my cousin Trish and I said, hey, what are these micronutrients talking about? And she says, get on this seminar tonight and then we can talk afterwards. Well, halfway through the seminar, I told my brother Edwin, we got to get our sister Pam on this. And we did right away. We got on the phone with Horace and we ordered it, got Pam on it. And my sister went from being in a wheelchair and an electric scooter because she couldn't even hardly walk from her bedroom into her living room without needing to rest. But within probably 24 to 48 hours of taking micro daily, she got out of bed and walked to her kitchen, made herself a cup of tea, and sat down in her living room, and then went to her bathroom and realized, wait a minute, I did all of that and was not out of breath, was not in pain. And so she just kept getting better and better and better. After 90 days of being on micro daily, creatines went from a 13 to a 15. The following 90 days, she went from a 15 to an 18. It's like every 90 days, she kept getting better and better. So now I believe she's at 23 or 24. She's no longer in stage 5 kidney failure. She's now in stage 4, but progressively getting better. They took her off the kidney transplant list. They took her off of her Farxiga. They took her off of 3 blood pressure medicines. She is doing great, other than a little frog in her throat today, but she's doing great. So I thank God and Dr. Prasad for Microdaily, my cousin Trish, who introduced us to this. And because of it, even my husband was able to benefit, but I'll let him tell his story.
Wow. Tammy, thank you. Thank you for coming forward and
You're
sharing that.
welcome.
Somebody that is that close to you, having the experiences, they are truly getting a life back. I can't imagine being relegated to a, a scooter and a walker everywhere you go, and then to be able to have that freedom of just being able to go around, do those things that so many of us take for granted.
Yeah,
So,
she's back to work. She went back to work within, I think, the 90 days of being on Micro Daily. She was able to go back to work. And it's been almost a year now, but steadily improving. So, yes, this is amazing.
that is amazing. Thank you, Tammy. Just that's unbelievable. All right, but we heard it. I say unbelievable, but look, on a kidney transplant list and now no longer. That is hope. That is super, super excited. Like you said, Bernard, that's the real deal. Okay, Glenn Clark. He's got himself already set up here. I'm going to just get myself right out of the way. Glenn, turning
Hey,
it over to you, brother.
how you doing, Jeff? How's it going, everybody? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Good, good.
5x5. Loud and
I'm going to
clear.
give you a quick overview. I've been in direct sales 3 times. This is my third time, so I'm going really slow this time because the last 2 companies folded just as I was building an organization. So I just wanted to give you a quick background. Second thing is I did a print ad for Micro Daily over 10 years ago, and I have found out about it through Catrice and Bruce Johnson. So I was taking the product and I did an ad for the product before it became global and engaged. So I just wanted to give you a quick background. So in March of this year, Coraline got in touch with me, and I thought I was going to jump in really fast, but I'm taking my time just because of my experiences with the last two companies. I started with the GLP-1. I'm 6'3". I was 270 pounds. I'm down to 247. And my goal is 225. Right now, I've hit a plateau. I don't know what's going to bring it down further, but at this point, I've hit a point where it's not going any further, but I'm not giving up on that. The second product I started using was the Eye Boost. I'm nearsighted. I've started the Eye Boost about 30 days ago. My vision, and here's the thing that I think myself as well, a lot of people have to realize, the conditions that we may have health-wise have progressed over time. So sometimes we expect something to happen immediately, which I do. And so I'm like, is my vision improving or is it not? Is it yes? Is it no? I'm going through this yes, no effect thing. And it is actually improving. It's getting sharper, but it's not consistent yet. So I've only been in it 30 days, but I've already seen improvement from the Eye Boost. So I'm taking the omega-3. That is something which I can't tell what it's doing, but I believe in what omega-3s do. The GLP-1 since March my weight has come down, and my goal is to get to 225 at my height. And my eyes seem to be improving. So those are my three products that I can talk to about personally. My idea here is to be able to tell the people that were in my other groups personally what's been happening and start building somewhere between the end of the year and the beginning of the year. But because I got burnt in those other two companies, I'm taking it extremely slow right now. I already have two people that have already started buying the product from me already. So I just wanted to give you a little background on that, where I'm at, and the product seems to be doing what it said it's going to do.
That's amazing. Glenn, just thanks for keeping it real, throwing it out there and say, yeah, that it is uncomfortable when those the other opportunities did not pan out. You know, all of us have had experiences like that, but we found our home.
Yep.
And I can feel that's what you're expressing today is
Yes.
that so thank you for coming, being part of the Micro Daily family.
Thank you
Well,
much.
Jeff, let's
Appreciate you
Jeff,
too. I just met you a few times during the Zoom calls, and I appreciate your input. Bernard as well. Jones, is it? He's another one that does.
Jonathan Jones.
Yeah, Jonathan Jones. He does an excellent job on this. Very, very excellent job. I learned a lot from him as well as Prasad and the rest of the team. But I just wanted to make that comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey Jeff,
That's
just a moment. Just this right here is for Glenn because there
okay.
are a lot of new people that are on this call, and I also had been involved in direct sales in the past. I said I wasn't going to do it again, to be honest with
Me
you.
too.
I wasn't planning on it, but then I found out that the company had been around since 2012, and only in the last 2 or 3 years have we really came up with significant people to make this company grow. And the owner, Dave Nemelka, has been coming along quite a bit lately to really, and Jeff perhaps help me to understand. Jeff, the point that he has reiterated over and over again, he said, we are not going away. He said the company has had a momentous growth in the last few months that we have literally become $1 million a month company. Not because we're pushing money. What Dave has said, as well as Dr. Prasad, they said we're not going to radio, we're not going direct sales. They said these products are the type of products that right now the perfect storm has happened for this company. You have come along with Dr. Prasad, is 91, I think it is, about to have another birthday. But the product has been around now since 2012. It's not going away. The company has added on now, it's going to 16 or 17 products, more to come, which I won't even bust a bubble on that one. But he has also said, David said, he said, my goal is to make sure that we're not a multi-level marketing or network marketing company. We are beyond network marketing. and direct sales, because what we're doing is we're literally building a family of successful entrepreneurs that's basically getting the word out that we are real. So everybody that's on this call, you're very fortunate. Somebody loved you to get you on this call because Dave Nemelka and the team there at Engage Global are not going away. And they have put this now so that if anything ever happens with anybody, the company will go on. So you are in the right place at the right time. The question really is for everybody on this call, is it the right time in your life?
Yes.
May I
Thank
interject
you.
real quick? Bernard,
Yeah.
are you the guy whose wife told you to pull your pants up?
You know, I was out cutting grass, and
I thought
I think the thing was working. I honestly did not. And I pulled my belt when I started taking the GLP. I started pulling my belt to the last loop. So I'm cutting grass, and literally my pants fell down almost to my knees in the front yard. And I got a lot of neighbors. Now, I hope nobody call a popo, but I did not know that I wasn't losing weight. I honestly wasn't. But my waist is shifted. And then all of a sudden I realized, I said, man, GLP is not a joke. So yeah, I was the one, Glenn. Yeah, you had to be there to see it, but to hear about
no, I
it,
didn't want to be there to see
I
it, but
was
I
the
heard
one.
about it.
Yeah. I'm just glad nobody got no pictures.
Thank you. Thanks, Glenn. That was amazing. Bernard, my goodness, the way that you just kind of pulled it in there and yeah, keeping it real. Again, we got Dolores Lavat that's up here, and Dolores, my goodness, you could be bringing this one in for the last one of today. So I'm going to turn the time over to Dolores Lavat. Amazing, amazing lady. Here we go.
Well, my story is a family affair. My whole family benefits from microdaily. Well, I start benefiting first, my husband, and so right now, all my kids, I have grandkids, grandkids, we all are benefiting from microdaily as well as friends. The product is awesome. Yes, I've done natural supplements with different companies in the past, and they had some good products. But the difference in our products is totally different because we got Dr. Prasad and his formulation. And the difference with the company and why it's not going into place because we are a family. We have good products and we have a family of people that are really focused on making sure that we continue to help people. I think it was Cynthia that said it's hard to get people to believe, and it is, but we keep trying. We keep exposing the product to people. We can let them know. They can come to our meetings. We send them videos. We send them testimonials, and just let them know. This is a formulation that's totally different from anything else out there. And like I say, I take the product for good health. I'm not only on any medicine. I don't take high blood pressure medicine, anything for diabetes, cholesterol, none of that. My husband was on high blood pressure medicine. He was taking 3. He's down to 1. They took him off of 2 medicines. His kidneys are doing great. They're stable. So we're just having excellent results from taking microdaily. It's not a gimmick. We're not trying to make a lot of money. We're just trying to make sure that people stay as healthy. We all have compromised immune system, and that's just being honest. And we have bad guts, and we have everything that we need so that we can make sure that we take care of those problems. So microdaily is the way to go. It benefits anybody. It's not going to hurt anybody. So this is something that we can really be appreciative of, and I do appreciate Dr. Prasad's formulation, but I appreciate you, Jeff, and Jonathan for introducing me to the microdaily. I appreciate Bernard for being sure that he's always on board to make sure we, hear what we need to hear. So just want to say that.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness, Dolores. Yeah, amazing, amazing testimonial, and I've I've been there in the trenches with you for years now, and look at the number of people that are benefiting from your passion. you started right out by saying family. It's a family affair, and you've shared your family's successes with us as a Microdaily family. So thank you again for that. Alrighty, Curtis, my goodness, your hand popped up here, and we it's we can't close out without your excitement and your enthusiasm. Let's let's bring the receipts here, brother. Tell us what's going on in your life. Okay, you'll need to unmute though.
There we go. Oh, my story is kind of half mine, half my wife, because at some point I didn't know what was going on. But I was in and out of the doctor's emergency room really for my stomach. I think one time was a UTI, another time was something else I can't remember. But each time I had to get antibiotics for that. And so this third time I went into the emergency room, um, I stayed a couple of nights, but the doctor, after he got the report I was in, he researched it and he found out what I really had. And he called me into his doctor office the next day. And so he ended up telling me what was going on with me, which I appreciated. I had diverticulitis, which blew a hole in my intestines and it ended up attaching to my bladder. So he ended up saying, you need surgery for that. And so we set up a day for surgery and we got it done. And he did a good job with the surgery. Attached my intestines, cut the diverticulitis out of the intestines first, then attached the intestines back, patched up the bladder that was leaking through my intestines. So that was okay. But a couple of weeks later, about a month later, I say, I ended up going back to the doctor because I had colitis. My bowel wasn't moving through my intestines correctly. It was just staying in one spot. And so I took some antibiotics for that. And I got out of the hospital and think another couple of weeks, I ended up having colitis again. So after this time, I was in the hospital for a while. They checked me out. And I ended up catching a C. diff in the hospital. And so with those antibiotics that I had nothing in my body to fight back. And now with the C. diff, I was told by the CDC doctor that she told my wife that he has nothing to fight this medicine for the C. diff that he has. It would really actually kill him. So she told my wife that, well, he have nothing to fight this back. So we have a doctor in Cleveland clinic set up for all his organs because this would destroy all his organs. So I end up taking that advice. But from that point on, I didn't know what was going on because my wife was talking to the CDF. So at this point, Tammy gonna take over. She's gonna tell you the rest of the story from this point on, if you don't mind.
Okay, so after talking with the doctor from the CDC, I told her he's going to be okay. I was confident that Curtis was going to be okay because I figured if this could help my sister get back to walking and back to work, what can it do for him? And I had just gotten my order of Micro Daily myself, and so all I had was I had the Core 4, and I got on the phone and called Bernard. I mean, sorry, not Bernard, Horace. I called Horace, and it was a Sunday. They were in the middle of a meeting just like this, and he said, "We'll call you back." And he put me on a Zoom call, and Dr. Prasad and I think Dr. PK. They asked me what I had, and they said we don't know anyone that's had C. diff, but I did tell them that the doctor said the cure for the difficile is the medicine. The cure is worse than the ailment and what was going to happen. And she didn't think he could survive the 10 days before he went to the Cleveland Clinic. So to shorten this up, I tell Curtis, he didn't want to take the Micro Daily at first. He says, no, I'm in pain. I said, no. I said, two things are going to happen. And by the end of the week, either you'll be dead, or if you don't take this Micro Daily, I'm going to kill you. But because I knew what it could do, I was that confident what it could do. So he went ahead, he took the Micro Daily, and within about 6 hours, he was feeling a little better. By the next morning, he was even more better. By later that night, he was working on his little tablet. Before he was curled up in a ball, but now he's working on his tablet. So every time he'd have to take the Difficile. An hour later, we take the micro daily, and they were having me give him the micro daily 3 times a day. Um, and so the short of it is, in 72 hours, you never know Curtis was sick. He was up moving and doing things around the house, repairs that I couldn't get him to do beforehand. It was just amazing. But day 10, when we get to the Cleveland Clinic, the nurses could not believe this is the same person because the doctor from the CDC told me, she said he's going to get gaunt and he's going to look emaciated, like, you see the kids in third world countries that are sick. And she said, so just prepare yourself. But we have doctors lined up for all his organs from head to toe. But when we got to that Cleveland clinic, they were shocked. They couldn't believe it. They didn't think it was the right person. So then Dr. Nassier, Curtis's gastroenterologist, comes in and she says, my staff is baffled. How are you like this? How did you get like this? And he pointed, to me and said, my wife, she gave me these micronutrients. She says, micronutrients? And I said, yes, Dr. Kedar Prasad. And she threw her hands up I was nervous because I was like, okay, she threw her hands up in a big smile and she said, he's from my home country. She says, I don't know of anyone that has ever taken his products until now. She said, here, Cleveland Clinic, it's medicine. This is all natural. We don't do that. So she went to see Curtis again in 90 days. She was so amazed. The only thing he lost outside of losing weight from the initial surgery and everything, because he had a 34-inch waistline, he was now down to a 26-inch waist. The only thing he lost um, through all of this was a few inches off his shoulders, muscle mass off his shoulders, underneath his arm, and under his buttocks. That was it. Everything else, he was toned, fit. Even his complexion, he suffered from eczema for years, and his skin, complexion, all that was just great. Look, just really wonderful. So I have again Dr. Prasad to thank for this. And here's the kicker too. When he went to our hometown gastroenterologist to get a colonoscopy done on the left side, the side that did not have the surgery, the doctor Dodick couldn't believe how good his colon looked. So he decided he was going to check out the right side. And normally you don't do that because he just had that surgery 90 days prior to that. But he said he just needed to know. And when he went in there, he said you couldn't even see where the colon was put back together. You couldn't see any incisions. There was no redness. He said there was only a little bit of looseness, probably because he I had to clear everything out for the colonoscopy. But all in all, he said Curtis had the inner workings of a 16-year-old. He's in great health and he's been great ever since. So thank you, Dr. Prasad. And, again, my cousin Trish, Pam, and Horace, because they made me a believer.
Wow. And it's a good thing you didn't kill Curtis because that's family. And they would have come to you first. I mean, that whenever they do an investigations in with a killing, they go to family. But it's just the opposite. What you're sharing with this with your family, the Shelbys right here, just exactly what Dolores said. We want to help those that are closest to us first. And what a fantastic way to end this all up, you two. You're just amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you.
You are.
Jeff,
Yeah, yes.
can I
Yeah,
can I just Curtis, when I met you in Orlando,
can you turn
you
your video on? Can you turn your video on, Alfreda?
I guess so, okay.
I'd love to see you. We need to see
Um
you. There we
when
go.
I met you in Orlando and you
Yes.
were coming up to the front of the room getting awards,
Yes.
I have never seen a man so happy to be alive. I mean, he was literally jumping up and down. And then when Bernard yelled out, "That's because you was almost dead." Then I realized who you were. And that weekend, you made me have a resurgence for being thankful to be alive myself. I mean, that's how happy he was. I
Oh,
never saw a person that age jump so high, just to be alive. And so I want to thank you for that.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, you guys. I'm gonna have to just jump in and Keep us all from watching Curtis cry there. Yeah, it's just amazing, you guys. And that's what this is all about. Dr. Prasad has given us the formulations to truly help humanity. It's up to us to take it out to all of them. Thank you. Just to answer a quick question that was that popped up into the chat, if you're having any diagnostics, a dose 1 hour before of the microdaily EMF and a dose immediately following it. In fact, I tease people, I say, hey, it's so important you get that next dose in. If you're in your gown, you know, that the ties in the back, as soon as you leave and you're walking down the hall, you've got 3 capsules in your hand. Bend over at the drinking fountain, take them right there in the hall. But but make sure you keep your hand on the back too, so that you're not giving people a little more than they deserve. But I'm just saying, that's how important it is to get these formulations into your body after a diagnostics. So, Bernard, thank you for opening it up here today. We've had an incredible time, all of us. Wow.